Thank you very much. Hello, that love is mutual, Arno. If a man without dreams is like a bird without wings, imagine poetic scenes in the heart of human beings, to travel in lost times and fly deep into your life, in the wonders of a child and in the eyes of Nevermind. I don't know if you guys know the French comic book Asterix. It's some little resistance in a little French village against the Roman Empire. Well, I'm the guy from that town called Poetrix, or Poetize in French. Like Obelix, I fell into rhymes when I was little in the middle of a riddle seeking for the meaning of my soul. And as far as I can remember, when I was young, I didn't really have any friends. So poetry became my only friend. No, I'm joking, I did have a lot of friends. But I always cultivated that isolation process to daydream, mainly vibing and listening to hip-hop, real-life stories to imagine possible futures for my life. So I was first a dreamer and a listener before I became a doer and a writer. And this is still what I do to this very day. I dream and I write. I dream and I write. I dream and I write. I don't care if I'm right, I just dream and I write. I live and I fight. I lean and I fly. I scream and I cry. I sing and I smile. Poetry is not really my passion, it's my life. Because it's the one and only thing I've continuously done ever since I was a child. I had the opportunity to go traveling twice around the world, once at 24 and the other at 32. And I never felt, even though I was by myself, I never felt that feeling of solitude. Precisely because I was always describing in verses what I was living and seeing, whether the amazing horizon of beauty or the extraordinary show of humanity in front of me. And even in life in general, every time I'm confronted to a problem, I always dream and write. It's my way to escape and to overcome a problem by writing verses that outshine the pain and the suffering. Whether it's from my adolescent years searching for myself, to my dad shooting himself in the head, this is what I do. I dream and I write. And it gives me strength to move on. And it gives me that platform to speak my truth and transform my verses into dreams and verses. And throw it at the world out of love, because I don't think there's anything above. So what started from therapeutic purposes for me, slowly graduated into becoming utopian virtues for us. So poetry followed me throughout my life journey. I did a business school, I worked in big companies, I became an entrepreneur, I recorded a hip-hop album, but I was still missing something essential to the meaning of what I was doing. So I remembered what Steve Jobs said once: how do you connect your dots to follow your path? Well, for me, it took me 10 years to see how I could change myself to change the world. How I could play my part based on who I am, what my talents are, and what I wish to accomplish. How I could both realize myself and contribute to the world with my own footsteps to be in a position to serve something that's greater than myself. And so the result was a mix of my passion of poetry, my business skills, and all the self-development work that I've been doing around the world. So today, I'm happy to not be fooling me, because I'm happy to be fooling me. I'm a Chief Poetic Officer, a corporate modern-day poet, if you will. I give poetic conferences to companies and personal crowds on how to unlimit your future, unleash your potential, spark your creativity, free your speech, free your emotions, and put them in motion and in action. As Picasso said, everything you can imagine is real. So it all starts with a dream. And what's a dream if not a future possible reality? In the poetic journeys that I give, each participant is invited to write a poem and comes on stage to say it out loud. And it's such a magical moment when you can hear and feel the person vibrate, sharing their intimate views and their dreams. It's just so wonderful, so moving, so powerful, so human. And not only did poetry give me a sense of purpose, a sense of fulfillment, it also gave me a life mission. Repoetize our society, our corporations, our way of living together, our way to do politics, our human beings, to reinvent the future together and reconcile the material world and the poetic world into one, to see the reality through the eyes of poetry. Voltaire once said that poetry is the music of the soul, and that's why it's necessary. Today, we've depoetized our modern societies of the essence of the meaning of life, or of our reason of being, of our humanity. And poetry precisely connects you to the celebration of love, to the revelation of joy, to the appreciation of the beauty of nature, to champagne bubbles, to a sense of hope, to acts of sharing, to the sources of our beings, to the consciousness of the world. And if poetry is a positive momentum into the future and a contemplation of the ideal, and life is poetry in action, so why not put back poetry into the heart of our society and co-sign together a new narrative for our future, a poetic scenario of a new world of harmony. When you think about it, in humanity, there's always been a hidden word: unity. And when I hear mankind, I hear man and I hear kind. And no matter who you are, I don't think poetry is untouchable. I think it's, on the contrary, accessible to all, because it only takes a pen, words, and thoughts to create your own art form. Do remember also that in poetry there's try, those three magic letters, T-R-Y, to find your branch in the poetry of life. So to finish off, I'd like to invite you to free your energy and make a wish like a genie, to let the melodies of poetry open your world to the beauty of harmony. The purpose of life for us is still the pursuit of happiness. Never settle for less might be the key to our success. Victor Hugo said that a revolution is in our human nature, and there's nothing like a dream to create our own future. So before I go off stage, I just have one last little secret. Poetry can save the world, and guess what? We're all poets. Thank you very much.